Hey y'all, welcome to Criminally Creative, a channel about my various creative endeavors. I'm Susan. You can find me on Ravelry as Legal Eagle and on Instagram as Criminally Creative Podcast. Today is Sunday, October 1st, 2023, and this is episode 48. If you are a returning viewer, I appreciate you coming back. If you're new, and I do have a couple of new subscribers, I think from the Tar Heel Stitchers group on Facebook, or was it the North Carolina Stitchers group? One of those two groups. I think it was the Tar Heel Stitchers group. Lizzie Joe Creates actually posted something about my channel, and I think I got a couple subscribers from there. So if you're also in North Carolina or the Tar Heel State or in that group, welcome. This hopefully is going to be a shorter episode because it's only been like 2 weeks since I last recorded, but I'm getting ready to go on my senior tour, and so I thought I would get another video done because I know if nothing else there will be haul from the next 3 weeks. Anyway, so let's move on. Hearsay, not a lot since I last talked to you. Work was not this past week, but the week before was very busy with several late nights, so there were 2 or 3 days where there was either no stitching or very, very little stitching. So, excuse me. And September kind of got away from me. So the last week I really spent kind of catching up on my September goals because I was way behind. Pardon me. Anyway, so that's it for hearsay work. So, verdicts. I do have one verdict, and that is my April Quaker. I'm doing this Quaker series from the Heart Needle Art. I have trouble saying that every time. I'm doing this as part of the 7 on the 8th for Julia, my friend Julia, who will be 70 on December 8th, and we started in June. Yeah. So on the 8th of the month, anybody who's participating, start something. I am trying to start and finish before the 8th of the next month, each one of these monthly Quakers, so that by the end of the month, I will have 7 of the 12 done and can finish them next year. So this month was April. Again, this is a pattern by From the Heart Needle Art. And I bought this as a PDF pattern. You can get them as paper patterns, but she also has a Etsy site where you can buy them as PDFs. I did this with all the called for floss. The fabric is 40 count Barefoot Needle Arts in Sandy Toes, which is my absolute favorite neutral right now so far. Trying to get the light just a little bit better. That lightest green is kind of hard to see. That wreath around the two birds is a variegated olive branch, so it's the light green and the dark. But anyway, so I will start May on the 8th, and it'll go on the same piece of fabric. I have this, and I have another piece of fabric that's kind of like a light bluish gray that, depending on the colors, decides which one I use. And I think the next one will also be, these are the colors for May. These are charted in Classic Colorworks, and I'm doing them in the called for. So I will do that on this as well. So that is it for verdicts. Sorry, trying to figure out where to put stuff. We'll move on to Court is in Session. So first up is the first of my September Whip Go goals that I had not finished last time I talked to you. This is on a bag that I got from a Bestitch Me box, so I'm not sure who made it. This is Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. Hopefully that glare is not too bad. All of my Whip Go goals, my goal is 10 hours on the project. This is a project that I started in July of 2022. And last time I had done about 5 of my 10 hours on it. I finished the 10 hours. This is what it looked like the last time you saw it. And come on. here's what it looks like now. So I am doing my own conversion for this. I did not have the called for floss, and so I just started pulling flosses, and then I also decided to make it a little more gray and blue, like slate blue, a little bit less brown. I'm still using some browns. So this is my color palette. So I still have some of the browns, orangey, well, the orange, but I still have some of the browns that will be in the house. But I'm mixing it up a bit. All my vines on the border, show you again what I'm talking about, are being done in the Spooky by A Wicked Stepmother. I'm doing the little buds in blue corn. Most of my that zigzag border, and you probably can't see color-wise on, but that's being done in Blacksmith Blue, Classic Colorworks. Anyway, so I'm kind of doing my own conversions to it, and it's also kind of one of those where I decide when I get there what color to use. So anyway, so since I last recorded, I did another 1,296 stitches on that for a total of 2,410 stitches this go round, which brought me to 19% finished on that project. My second September WIP go was Cardinal Points, which is a pattern by Long Dog. This is actually in a brass button bag with B-skeps on it. This is Cardinal Points, which is a pattern designed by, sorry, trying to get the glare off, Long Dog Samplers in conjunction with Gentle Arch Threads. Calls for Gentle Arch Threads. The last time I showed this to you, it looked like this. And I had done 1,000, I don't know how exactly, I didn't write down how many stitches I had done at that point. I think I'd only done like 500 stitches on it so far at that point. 500 stitches this go round in the, I started this in March of 22. And I did 1,618 more stitches on it for a total of 2,173 stitches this go round, which gets me to 10.3%. Almost all of the patterns that I show you, if it is available digitally in a Pattern Keeper compatible format, then I will use Pattern Keeper. If the digital format is not Pattern Keeper compatible, or if it is a hard copy chart like these two projects were, I will scan it and I will use it in Markup RXP. So, in other words, if I can get my pattern digitally, I will. The only ones I have not been able to get in Markup RXP are the Mirabilia patterns, and that's because their charts are so big, I can't get good scans that I can get straight and stuff. So I actually do those in GoodNotes where I can just zoom in and then I just highlight with the GoodNotes. So it doesn't count my stitches and stuff. But anyway, those were the last two September WIP goes. Next up is I worked some more on Schoolhouse Rock stitch along. I do not have a final picture of this because it is a stitch along that's currently in progress. This is what it looked like the last time I showed it to you. I am working, I think I've finished most of part 3, but now I'm working on part 2 because I started part 2 and 3 at the same time. And part 4 just came out yesterday, but I haven't really started any of that. So I am doing this on 36 count Be Stitch Me in Ocean Blue. Since I last showed it to you, I have done 3,092 stitches. I am now at 26.7% of the pattern. And this was just started early in September. This is a stitch along with the Black Needle Society, where they have a Amazon wish list for the school that Laura works at. And if you purchase something off the wish list and send them the receipt, they will send you the stitch along pattern. Excuse me. So it's a fundraiser for her school, which is a majority of the students are lower income. Next up is Freaky Fair Isle. I'm looking for something to put behind this. This is a pattern on black perforated paper. I started this September 16th of this month. This was a stitch along with Helen D, Freaky Fair Isle, Sal. And I need to just sit down and knock this out. I've just been piddling with it. But I did 263 more stitches. And that's almost 35% done total. So this wouldn't take long if I think there's like 800 more stitches. I just need to sit down and knock it out. But I haven't gotten around to it. So, and then last, for quarters in session. Told y'all this was going to be kind of quick, hopefully, this time. And when you start, excuse me, this is, oops, I think I have the hard copy pattern here. And I should have, hopefully, when I was talking about Freaky Fair Isle, I'll put a picture up of what it will look like when I'm finished. I don't think excuse me, I don't think that it's worth really showing you a picture of what it looked like last time. Anyway, this new start, this is October's Party by Little House Needleworks. I read it out to you last time. I'm not going to read it this time. And I started this on the 23rd, which was the first day of autumn. And I'm doing this on 40 count Atomic Ranch in the colorway Blue Ridge. I'm doing this in all the called for floss, except I'm changing the words to Weeks Dye Works Chesapeake. Because I just, with the fabric I chose, I didn't want it brown. I wanted to pull in a little bit more of that. And that's Weeks Dye Works Chesapeake is kind of a teal, you know, green color. So I've done 403 stitches on that. I need to do about 100 more at least before I put it away. My minimum stitch count on a new start is 500 stitches. That's what my own personal goal, to kind of feel like I've gotten a decent start on something new. So anyway, that is all for quarters in session. On the docket, the October Whip Go, it's October 1st, so October Whip Go is here. My two calls for October Whip Go are Rejoice Evermore by With Thy Needle and Thread, which was my start at StitchCon last year in 2022. I've done very little on that. I'll show you that next time once I do it. My second call is Winter Wonderland by Dorothy Kanzi. That is a pattern that I have on the Silk app. Excuse me. Which is an app put out by Historic Strickmeister. I can't say it. I'm sorry, I can't speak German. And I think I'm probably like 40-50% on that. We'll see. My full coverage pattern for August, focus for August, will be September Sapphires by Carolyn Manning, which I just started in January of this year, but I haven't worked on since then. I want to knock out that Freaky Fair Isle little back because it's quick. I want to keep working on the Schoolhouse Rock. I'm not going to stay completely up with that, but I want to keep working on it so that I don't get, you know, Bill is coming, and when Bill gets here, I'm going to have to do Bill. So I've got to be at least in a position that I can count to Bill. I do have several new starts planned in October. Today, if I can get my act together, because I have it kitted, but I have not scanned the pattern yet. I'm going to start Halloween Sampler by Teresa Kogut as part of a stitch along with, I think, Memphis Sarah E. and a couple other people. I can't remember now exactly who all is starting that. Next weekend, I'll be at the Queen City Stitch Retreat, where Nora Corbett will be. So I'm going to start 2 new memorabilias. Friday, October 6th is my birthday. I'm going to start Nightingale for my birthday start and at the retreat. And then on Saturday, I'm going to start Sleeping Princess, which is also memorabilia. The weekend after that, before that, on October 8th, I will start May Quaker 47 on the 8th for Julia. The weekend after that, I will be in Massachusetts at Stitch New England Retreat. Friday of that retreat is the 13th. Friday the 13th in October cannot go without a spooky start. So I believe that day I'm going to start Jack's Bash by Plum Street Sampler. My alternative is the Old Graveyard by Thistles. I may start both of them that weekend. We'll see. I think I'm going to take them both. But I think Jack's Bash is the one that I'll actually start on the 13th. Those are my planned starts for the month. We'll see. I think I mentioned last time that I'm planning for 2024 to regulate my starts more. So, like I said, I believe I'm repeating myself, but the way my brain works, that means I have to start all the things this year, so they will be WIPs next year. So that is not. I have a list of things that are kitted up or partially kitted up that I'm hoping to start before the end of the year. So we'll see. That is it from the docket. Let's move on to stashing for retirement. Okay, stashing for retirement. Here we go. I was thinking I didn't have a whole lot, but I forgot that my Expo order came in since I last recorded. So there's a little bit more than I was thinking, but not as much as usual. So digitally, I did buy this morning. I bought a pattern from the Witchy Stitcher. Today, October 1st, is Witchy Stitcher Day. The designer behind the Witchy Stitcher has been diagnosed with cancer. And so today is a day to support her, either by purchasing something from her website, or if that's not within your means, promoting her on Instagram or any other social media, and encouraging other people to either support her financially or just support her in good thoughts, prayers, whatever works for you. So if you are so inclined, please participate in that. I covered up my notes here. I purchased Frosted Pumpkin Cottage, which I will put a picture of here because I purchased a PDF pattern. I'm not sure when I will start that, but she has a lot of great spooky, witchy type designs. She is the designer behind the Cryptid Stitch Along and the Supernatural Stitch Along, which would probably be two of the ones you're most familiar with. She also has a really cool Stephen King house, which I considered buying, but because I love Stephen King, but I really don't want another big project like that right now. Anyway, also digitally, and this is a conundrum that y'all can weigh in on for me. As you know, earlier this year, I abandoned my Heaven and Earth Designs wool shop regular and started the wool shop, because I realized, it would just be much more likely to be finished. I have recently purchased, I also have started 2 other Heaven and Earth Designs, Treasure Hunt Bookshelf and Quarantine Cats, both of which are very large. Treasure Hunt Bookshelf is like 285,000 stitches or something. Quarantine Cats is over 300. There are many versions of both of those, and I am debating whether or not to scrap what I have done and start the mini versions. I've been looking at the mock-ups, and yes, I would definitely lose some detail in both of them. But so I can't decide whether I want to enjoy the process and get as far as I get on the 2 that I've got, or if I really want the end result, in which case I probably need to switch to the mini, or I could crop, like Treasure Hunt Bookshelf, I've started in the top left corner, and there is a quick stitch that is just that left aisle of the girl on the ladder. I could do my regular format, but crop it myself to be that. Quarantine Cats, there's also a couple quick stitches that I could kind of abandon. I've started in the top left corner, and so if I did this with Quarantine Cats, I wouldn't use what I got, but I could move and do my own quick stitch using the regular format pattern that I have. The other option is just to abandon them altogether. So I don't know. Anyway, if you Stitch Heaven and Earth full coverage and stuff, and you have an opinion, please go look at the mock-ups for the mini versions of both of those, and let me know if you have any thoughts. I really am undecided, and right now I'm just not doing anything other than I did order fabric, because when you switch to a mini, the floss colors are not all the same. So I did order more Easy Grid fabric and all the floss that is not included in the regular, so the new colors. The other thing about both those projects, Treasure Hunt Bookshelf is my oldest project. I started it in 2016 when I had a little brief cross-stitch resurgence before it petered out again, before I really got back into it again in like late 2020. But both of those are not on Easy Grid. Treasure Hunt is on 25 count, I think just white, and Quarantine Cats is on 25 count potato Lagana. Just based on what I had. Well, Treasure Hunt, I didn't know about Easy Grid when I ordered that. Quarantine Cats, I started when it was hard to get stuff, and I just had the potato Lagana, so I started on it. So both of them I'm having to like use the fabric pen or friction pen or what. I think I started Treasure Hunt with the friction. Now I've switched to fabric to like draw the grid. So it's harder to, I don't know. I don't like it as much as the Easy Grid. So that's part of it. Anyway, I'm undecided. Like I said, because I haven't come up with a decision that I'm totally comfortable with, at this point, I'm just not doing anything on either of the projects. And unless I make a decision between now and the end of the year for my 2024 planning, I'm not going to include them in any specific goals. So we'll see. Anyway, so what else did I buy? I did get, like I said, I'm now starting all the things. I showed you last time I had bought Let Freedom Ring by Leela Studio. I got my 1, 2, 3 stitch order, which has all the floss for it. There's some fancy floss and then mostly DMC. And this is the fabric. Get out my zipper. The fabric that I ordered for it, which is 40 count vellum. Newcastle. This is just, I think, this is Picture This Plus. So, and I like that, so I think that's what I'm going to do that on. That is going to be a new start before the end of the year. I haven't actually set a date for that one yet. That might be a Veterans Day start. That sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? And then also, because I was just ordering fabric and floss and no chart, and that couldn't travel without a chart, and I already had Let Freedom Ring, I ordered Midnight Watch by Blackbird, which I think is a re-release sometime this year. One I had just been seeing a lot of people do and really like. I think when I stitch it, I will probably leave the alphabet off and just stitch the top half, because I'm just not an alphabet person. And I got all the floss to go with that too. I got my, I should have taken this out of the plastic. See if I can do it without making too much crinkle. Tobic Ranch Fabric of the Month from Stitch New England. This is a 32 count. This is Embellish, which is just a good neutral. I have decided to go ahead and I signed up for Pam at Stitch New England's Atomic Ranch fabric for next year, but I'm switching to 40 count for that. Also, I got the Snowman number 10, the Countryman, with the cow that everybody's laughing at because he's sitting on a hay bale, but he looks like he's taking a dump. I really like the design on the cow. That's really cool. And I get whatever Fancy Floss comes with that. Number 11 has come out, and I love it. It's like a, I think it's like a pumpkin-y snowman. I can't remember now exactly what it looks like, but it's a Halloween-y one, and I loved it. Excuse me. Then I got my Expo orders. So I ordered from Barefoot Needle Arts and Stitch New England. That's usually who I split most of my online orders between. From Barefoot, I got this Primitive Hairpin collection. I did not get this for a specific pattern. I just really liked it, and I figured I'd use it on something Halloween spooky finishing. I got Barefoot Needle Arts Owl Terrace. Barefoot Needle Arts Broom Shed. That was 2 of her Expo, Amy's Expo releases. This was not Expo. This is just something I ordered from them. This Hello from Liz Matthews came out with the 9th day of Christmas. I am collecting all these. I'm going to wait till they all 12 come out before I decide for sure, but I think I'm going to do this, and I'm probably going to do it all in one piece of fabric. I also, from Barefoot Needle Arts, not Expo, got the latest issue, the latest Christmas ornament issue from Just Cross Stitch. I've kind of flipped through this, but I haven't actually gone through and really tagged anything yet. I love this sheep. Let's see if I can show you without showing the chart. Love that sheep. That's by Counting Puddles, which makes sense. You'll see here in a minute. I also really liked this. Let me find it. Sorry, I should have gone through and tagged ahead of time, but I didn't. This is by L. Noonan of Stitch Sprout. It's called Polar Night Sighting. The chart's pretty big, so I don't want to get... That one's really cute. That's like a little mini full coverage. I like that a lot. Anyway, more Expo that I got from Pam at Stitch New England. Actually, I'm not sure. I can't remember if I ordered this from Pam or from Barefoot. This is Frosty by Dirty Annie Stitches. I think I got that one from Pam, but I couldn't swear to it. Wow, I just realized that has a lot of Rainbow Gallery Whisper in it. Oh, no. 2 whispers, several petite silk lamaze. Okay. As I said, Counting Puddles. When I showed you that one, they got Spooktacular Party. Love that. I'm hesitant about doing it on black fabric. But it wouldn't be as good if it wasn't on black fabric, I don't think. So, yeah, I don't know. The called for was Chalkboard Black Linen by Witchold. I definitely will not be doing it on Witchold fabric. Do not like Witchold. Also from Counting Puddles, Santa's Moonlit Ride. Love that as well. That is done on navy linen from Witchold. Again, I think it would not look as good if it weren't on navy, because, or yeah, you'd have to stitch all this up here. But both of those are stitched originally in 28 count. I might have to do a 28 or 32 count just to be able to see the fabric, to see the holes in the fabric. I got from Puntini, I got Moonlight Owl, 2023 version. I guess that means there was a previous version, but, and it also came with the little owl button. And then from the Proper Stitcher, I got Steampunk Percival and Steampunk Penelope. I think he says October 31 and she says All Hallows Eve. So I will probably do those together. I don't know. I might do them separately as little pillows or something, or I might do them on one piece of fabric. And then I also got Witching Hour from Finally a Farm Girl. Sorry, I'm trying to get the glare off. So that is all for stashing for retirement. On the calendar, nothing new. I'm going to Queen City Stitch Retreat next weekend. I leave on Thursday. I will be back from that on Sunday and then turn around the next Wednesday and start the drive to Massachusetts to Stitch New England Retreat. Sorry, I'm take the glasses off because of the glare. I will Wednesday and Thursday drive up there, get there Thursday. That retreat is over Sunday at like lunchtime, and I will start the drive back on Sunday, probably stop somewhere overnight and finish on Monday. And then we'll be home on Tuesday, and then that next Wednesday, I head to the Asheville area for Southeastern Animal Fiber Fair, SAF, which I'm not sure. I will not be at SAF all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Probably only one of those days, but I don't know which one yet. So if you're going to SAF, if I know you in person, or I don't know you in person, but you're going to SAF and you would like to see me, feel free to email me or something, and I'll try to let you know what day I think I might be there. Because I'm going with 2 girlfriends, and we love SAF, but we're into so many other crafts these days, we don't spend as much time with the yarn and stuff as we used to. So, and then I have to go back to work. The North Carolina General Assembly is getting ready to start the redistricting process. I am, unfortunately, on the redistricting team. So, I shouldn't be leaving for 3 weeks, but they never go home. And so, I got clearance a couple months ago to plan this time off. And I mean, there's others that do it. It's not like I'm indisposable. I'm a grunt in that process. I kind of feel bad because, you know, I'm sure it will be crazy. But quite honestly, I'm not optimistic they will be done by the time I get back. We'll see. Anyway, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed seeing what little I've done. If you have any questions, as always, my cross stitch Google Doc that shows all my, like fabric and floss and stuff is linked below. If you have questions about any of I didn't show you any knitting this time. I have done a little bit of crochet. I need to get back into that. I've been feeling the bug lately. But if you're interested in knitting and stuff, I do have all my projects on Ravelry. And again, I'm Legal Eagle there. Feel free to email me. There is a link tree below with an email address. Maybe my email address below separately. I can't remember. Or leave a comment below. And sometimes I'm Johnny on the spot with replying to comments. Other times it's like right before my next video comes up. So, but if you do leave a comment with a question, I will definitely answer. Otherwise, you might just get a heart. But I do read them all. So, anyway, thanks for watching. And if you're going to Queen City or Stitch New England, please introduce yourself if I don't already know you. Some of you I know and you don't know who I am, but anyway, look forward to meeting anybody that happens to be at either of those events or at SAF. So, and I will talk to you later. Bye, y'all.